Hello. Your sound is off, so I can't hear you.
Okay, hello.
Hello, you there? Good. What happened on Sunday?
Hmm, on Sunday, there's
Yeah.
no device at home at all, and my mother and father is going out with the partner, I think so. Then it's just me home alone.
Oh, and
And
you
I,
didn't have a device to do your English lesson.
yeah,
No, that's okay. I'm just asking. I was confused whether I had you as a lesson or not because you didn't, come to your lesson.
yeah,
Okay, that's fine. Did you do your homework from last time?
yeah.
Okay, good. Let us see. Give me 2 seconds. Let us start with today's lesson. Well, actually, let's finish last week's lesson. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes, I am.
Okay. So, what did you speak about or write about?
I speak about, I talk about, wait a minute. Okay, I talk about um my daily in a day.
What you do in a day. Okay, that's great. So, topic number one or point number one was what you do in a what you and your family do. But let me hear what you had to say and what your topic points were.
What do you mean?
Okay, remember we said you had to do it on like what you do in a weekend, but I told you to think of something different, not something that we've already spoken about.
Mm-hmm.
So under topic point one, you were meant to speak about what does your family do together on the weekend. So you said you did it on what you do in a day.
I understand. I did both of it because I'm thinking and I asked you that. Maybe I should do another thing though.
Okay, no, it's fine. But tell me what you did because at the end of the day, um, even if you wrote about what you do in a day, it's still English. You're still practicing. So I'm not upset at all. It's actually very good. So can you tell me what you wrote?
Okay, well, you want me to talk about the daily or
No,
the
talk
weekend?
about the daily, the one that you did for homework. I'm not going to make you redo it. So tell me what you already did.
Okay, point one is um I wake up and doing my self work.
Doing your homework.
No, I'm brush my teeth, wash my face, that in the like morning daily activities.
Okay.
And point two, that I will talk about the I wrote about this daily that when I was on school. So the point two is I pack my bag and go to school.
Okay, good. Then point three.
Point three is I study and play with my friends on school. And point four is I go home, make dinner, and take a bath and do my homework. Blah blah blah.
Blah, blah, blah. Good. And anything for point four?
Point four, after I do my homework, I usually listen to music or read a comic I borrow from the library.
Okay, good. What comics do you read?
Um, is the the comic Who, do you know?
Okay. Is it a Vietnamese comic?
Yes, it's a Vietnamese comic, but it have the English one, but on the library don't have the English, so I borrowed the Vietnamese one.
Okay. No, that's fine. Reading is good, whether it's in English or in Vietnamese. The more you read, the
Yeah,
more you know.
yeah,
Okay, let's start with today's lesson. So, number 2, we're going to do my hobbies. Do you know what a hobby is?
yes, of course.
Okay, I'm just checking. I teach a couple of students that don't know what a lot of words are. So I have to
Yeah.
just double check to make sure that we're on the same page. Okay, so let's look at the picture and see what you can name. Are you able to draw circles for me?
Okay.
Okay. Would you be able to show me where the guitar is?
The guitar is here.
Good. Can you show me where the magazines are?
The magazine is here.
Okay. The video games?
The video game. Wait a minute. I take a check. The video game. Mm, I don't see it. Maybe it's
Okay.
here.
Yes, I'm thinking that one there is the video games and that one there is the CDs because there's also CDs over here that we need to look for. So we'll
Oh,
make that the video game and we'll make those ones the CDs. Okay.
okay.
The violin.
There.
Good. Cards.
Car. No, here.
Yes. The toys. There's actually not many toys. I see one toy.
Toy. Here.
Yes, that is a rocket ship. Okay, magazines we did. Stamps.
Stamps.
Yes. Chess.
Okay. What can you repeat? The arm is up and I can hear.
Okay, I'm looking for chess. Can you circle chess?
Chess.
Good. Coins. I'm also looking for the coins though. I don't think I can see them.
Coins. I
Oh, I
can't.
think the coins are on the
Yeah,
wall. Yes. Okay, and books?
books. Is plenty of books here and here.
Yes, good. And then, yeah, we said the CDs are over there, so that's fine. Good, well done. Yeah, I think the reason the coins are on the wall is because some people collect coins.
Yeah.
Because some countries come out with a special coin, and then in 100 years' time, that special coin is worth a lot of money.
Uh,
Okay, so I'm just gonna take your drawings off here. Okay, so we already did what we can see in the room. So what do you think Paul likes doing?
I think uh his hobby is
It looks like
music
he's got a
and
lot of hobbies.
yeah, yeah, is have the collecting things like coins and stamps. He like reading the magazines and the memory books here. He also like music because I see a radio, a violin, and a guitar. And it's my hobby. He like board games and some other like I'm not saying it's traditional, but is non-internet games like cards and chess
Yes.
and other things
And video games.
and
Good.
video games.
Well done. Okay, so can you tell me now what your hobbies are?
Wait a minute. yes, and maybe I have a various hobby too.
So your hobbies are also all over the place. They're all different.
Yeah, it's always different. Like in the music, in the figure of music, I like to listen it, but I don't like to play it like that. And in the card, in the board game of chess, that in the board game, I like chess, but I don't like other board games. And like
Okay.
reading, I like reading not need comics or non-fiction or anything. I just need the thing I just need is comedy and about toys. I don't like very like toys.
You don't like playing with toys.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So you like music, but you don't like playing music. So you don't play an instrument. You like
Yeah.
reading comics, but anything that is comedy. So anything that is funny.
Okay.
And board games, you like chess, but you don't like any other board games. Am I right? Have I got all of
Yeah.
this down? Okay,
Yeah.
good. And do you
And
collect anything?
there, huh?
Do you
Yeah,
collect
about the
anything?
collect. I like to collect plants. I put it in a book.
Okay,
I put
plants, like an actual flower.
Yeah, I
Oh,
I put it in the middle of the book and I shut it up. And for over a few days, the flowers is like it's float like a paper.
yes. I actually did that to my sister's wedding flowers. I've done the same thing. Okay, good. Now they want us to listen to track 2. So let me see. Please tell me if you can hear this because sometimes it doesn't work, sometimes it does work.
My hobbies.
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Okay, then I'll just click play.
I play the guitar and my sister plays the violin. We enjoy playing together. We practice twice a week. We want to play in a band and make a record. We want to be famous. My favorite activity is reading. I read books and magazines. I read all the time. The magazines I like are about travel and fashion. I imagine visiting the places and wearing the clothes I see in the magazines. I read books in bed before I go to sleep. I like adventure stories. They're exciting. I'm a collector. I like collecting old coins. I have a large collection of them. I also collect stamps from all over the world. My favorites are those from Brazil.
I enjoy playing games with my friends. We play lots of different games. We play chess at school on Tuesday afternoons. In the evening, we play computer games. I get very excited when I get the highest score in a game.
Okay, did you hear that?
Yeah.
Okay, so look and practice with a partner. So
Uh,
they're asking, do you have a hobby? Yes, I do. What is it? I like playing the cello. So now I'll ask you the question and you're just gonna change the answer to whatever 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 is. Okay.
okay.
Okay. So, do you have a hobby?
Yes, I do.
What is it?
I like listen to music.
Good. Okay. Again, do you have a hobby?
Yes, I do.
What is it?
I like collecting toys cars.
I know it's a bit repetitive, or it's the same thing over and over again, but it's meant to help you with your speaking and your pronunciation of words. So, yeah. Okay, again, do you have a hobby?
Yes, I do.
And what is your hobby?
I like watching movies.
Cool. What movies do you like watching? Let's change it a little bit.
How the movie I like with me. The movie is really the hard stuff. I'm not used to watching movies.
And do you also like comedy movies?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Number 4. Do you have a hobby?
Yes, I do.
And what is it?
I like reading fashion magazines.
Good. So, what is your favorite type of fashion?
I don't know about this
You don't know about that. No, that's fine. I'm just trying to make it
because
interesting so it's not the same conversation over and over because you know your
because
work.
I don't know any kind of fashion though because um in my house there is no magazines.
Okay, so do you dress like one of the girls that wear the short tops and the short skirts? Or are you the girl that likes the jeans and a t-shirt?
Various.
Various changes. Okay, no, that's good. Now, number 5. Do you have a hobby?
Yes, I do.
And what is it?
I like playing ice hockey.
Good. Do you know how to play ice hockey? Or have you ever been ice skating?
No, I don't because in my country there's no snow or ice.
There's no snow or ice. In my country, there's also no snow, but we have an ice rink, which is like an indoor, it's inside and it's like fake ice, and we can ice skate on that.
Uh,
Yeah,
I think
it's actually fun.
yeah.
Okay, number 6. Do you have a hobby?
Yes, I do.
And what is it?
I like playing chess.
Good. And you already said you like playing chess, so we know that. Okay, B. Practice with a partner using the words in the box. So, a year, month, or week ago, last year, month, week, weekend, Monday, when I was 8 years old or young. Okay. So, what we're going to do is we are going to make up a sentence. Now, you said you like plants. So, how would you make a sentence using those words saying that you started liking plants, for example? So, we can say 2 years ago on a weekend, my mom bought me my first plant when I was year 11. So when I was 9 years old. You understand?
Yeah.
Okay. So what sentences can you come up with to do with your hobbies using those words in the block?
I like collecting plants, and I started about a month ago.
Good. Give me 4 examples if you can.
Okay, let's think about the other thing. I like to listen to music, and it's about 3 months ago.
Good. Now try and you make a sentence using something like a year ago you got your first guitar.
Oh, okay.
So
I
try
started.
using something to do with the year, month, or week and how old you were. So try and make a sentence with those two.
Okay. understand. Okay, when I was young, I used to like dance.
Please repeat that.
I used I I used to like dancing when I was very young, about 2 or 3 years old.
Okay, good.
But now I don't.
But now you don't. Is that
Yeah.
true or did you make that up?
It's true.
It's true. So you used to dance.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
At,
nice.
at 2 or 3 years old, I don't remember.
But you don't like it anymore.
Yeah.
Good, well done. Okay. Match and practice with a partner. Then think up one more answer for each. Okay, so my father used to bring coins home for me from his business trips. Trips. So that would be B, collecting coins. So can you read this one for me and then choose which one fits?
I went to a music concert and the violins made a beautiful music and C, playing the violin.
Good. And the next one?
I used to watch chess game on TV and it was interesting.
Good.
B, playing chess.
Yes. The next one?
I tried riding my friend's bike and I really like it. A, riding my bike.
Good. So can you think of another one?
Another one. My mom signed to me to go to the art class, and I I have a little interest in it.
Okay. Good. And then what would that be called?
Drawing, just drawing. I think so. Drawing pictures.
Drawing pictures. Good. Okay. Now D. Look and practice with a partner. So the same as what we did over here that you started laughing about, we're gonna have to do a game.
Oh my god.
Okay. So I'm gonna make you say the whole thing. So what is number 1?
Number 1, playing in the match.
In a match. Okay, why don't we swap? Instead of me asking you what your hobby is, you ask me.
Okay.
Okay.
What's your hobby?
I like playing in a match.
What is special about your hobby?
Oh, what is special about playing in a match? I get to win games.
I think if the match is perfect, maybe you will be famous though.
Yes, maybe I can be famous if I play well enough.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do number 2.
What's your hobby?
I like to travel around the world.
What is special about your hobby?
I get to see new and different places.
And number 3. What is your hobby?
I like reading magazines.
What is special about your hobby?
I can imagine myself wearing designer clothes.
Okay.
Okay. That one actually seemed a little bit different to the other one.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're going to prepare a discussion. So now you have to write a story on your hobby. So pick one of your hobbies, the one that you can talk the most about.
And talk the most about. Talk the most about.
Yes. So if you say you like plants and you can tell me 5 different things about plants, but you can only tell me 3 different things about reading, then rather do your discussion on plants.
Plants. Collecting plants.
Okay, give me 2 seconds. I just threw my pen away. Okay. So what is your topic going to be? Because now we must just come up with your topic. We're not going to write the story just yet.
I think I should come up with the music one.
Talk about music. That's fine. So your topic is going to be music. So now in your story, you need to tell me what your hobby is, when you started, how you started, and what is special about your hobby.
Okay. I think my hobby is listening to music, and I started about 3 months ago. And I start that my best friend come to my house. She has her own phone, and she listens some of the music, and I seem to like it, and I try to I try to um I try to search some music, and I listen to it. Like I say, I added to my playlist, and I listen to it every day. And the special about the hobby is maybe that maybe when while I listen to it, then someday I will I can sing it by myself, and it will be special at school, or 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 the maybe my favorite song, one of my favorite songs that the same with my friends at school.
Good. But what's special about your hobby is it doesn't just need to be something that makes you, famous, or like you say now, you can sing it. Special about your hobby can also be like music helps you relax.
Yeah.
So you can also say my hobby is special to me because it helps me relax. And you can also say if I listen to English music, it helps me speak better English.
Okay.
So it doesn't just need to be anything that makes you famous or makes people remember you. It can be, why it's special to you.
Okay.
Okay. So write 1 or 2 sentences about each topic point. I think we just did that because you told me what your hobby is. So you said listening to music, when you started 3 months ago, how you started, your best friend came to your house and she played some music for you. Am I right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So we answered those questions already. Okay.
Yeah.
So now we don't have to do that. So make a question for each topic point. So what is your hobby? Okay, so now what we're doing is the same that we did, remember unit 1, where you took this and you changed it into a question.
Yeah.
Okay, so how would you now change when I started into a question?
When did you started your hobby?
Okay, when did you start your hobby? The ED falls away.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so let me type it for you just so you can see. Oh, I'm spelling wrong. When did you start your hobby? Okay, so that is number 2. Now, how would you change number 3?
Number 3, how do you start your hobby?
Good. How did you start your hobby? Okay, number 4. What is special about my hobby? How would you change that into a question?
Let me remember. What's special about your hobby?
Good. Okay, there we go. Good. Oh, sorry. Okay, so discussion practice. Oh, let me get rid of my writing. Okay, so the same thing that you did last time, you're going to do a game because everything we did was just preparation for you to write a little story.
Okay.
So I'm not going to make you talk about it now. When we finished, sit, think about it, write some points, write a little story for me. And then if I see you on Sunday again, you can tell me your story.
Okay.
Okay. Then you'll tell me your story and then I'll ask you some questions about it and you must answer. So if you read what they say over here, he talks about his hobby, which is reading magazines. So the girl asked him, how often do you buy a magazine? So if you talk about music, I'm going to ask you, how often do you listen to music? How often do you download new songs? Which was the last song you listened to and who sang it?
Yeah.
Okay, so at least
Okay.
now you know what questions I'm going to ask you as well, depending on what your topic is.
What do you mean?
Okay, are you going to do your story on music or are you going to choose something else?
I think it will be on music because it's the easiest one and it's my
Favorite hobby?
longest. My hobby is still the longest one.
Okay, good. No, that's fine. And then now you at least know what questions that I'm probably going to ask you. So we finished this one for today. Do you have any questions about the work?
No.
No, okay.
It's so easy for me about this topic
I
because
know I can hear you laughing at me half the time.
yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna try. I tried to play a game with my last student, but the game didn't want to work. So I'm gonna see if it loads, and then maybe I'll play a speaking game with you. It might be a little bit more interesting than the lesson.
Okay.
So let's try and see what we can. Okay. Random conversation starters. Let me see if it works first before I show you the screen. Okay, it works. So I will share my screen with you now.
Okay.
Okay, can you see the screen?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So now this is what they call conversation starters. So this is how you would start a conversation. So it's going to ask you a bunch of questions that you need to talk about. So the first question, what was your first smartphone?
I don't have my own smartphone.
You don't have your own smartphone. Okay, let's go to the next question. What are some goals you have failed to accomplish?
What are some roles you failed in the accomplish? What is the accomplish?
Okay. Accomplish means what you didn't accomplish means like you finished something. So if you built a puzzle and you finished the puzzle, you accomplished the puzzle because you did it and you finished it. So if it says what are some goals that you failed to accomplish, it means what goals didn't you do? Weren't you able to do?
What
Like
I'm able to, but I'm not exactly doing right on it.
okay, please repeat that.
That accomplish that this thing, a goal that I have to do, but I don't do it well.
Okay, yes, that's because you don't do it well. You can say you didn't really accomplish it. Good. What sports do you like to watch?
Sport I like to watch. I don't like to watch sports. I prefer playing sport than watching sports.
Okay, I'm gonna try and
I
find
not
another game because this game is not that fun. Let's see what it says under music. What they give us under music because you like music.
Yeah.
Okay, when do you listen to music?
I listen to music while I do my homework.
Good. If music were removed from the world, how would you feel?
I think that the place will more quietly, and there are some people like for example, that my teacher's friend, my teacher said that when her friends was young, she is doing her homework and listen to music by the same time, and home her homework is always good. But when she does a test on the school, we can't open the music because it will affect other students, and if she used the headphone, the teacher will think that she is listening to the answer. So she do very bad at the test of the class, and that must affect to some people that like that.
Yes. Do you know they also say, bubble gum, chewing gum?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. They say if you chew chewing gum while studying and then chew the same flavor while writing the test that you study for, it helps you remember.
It's fun, but I don't do it before, so I don't know it.
Okay. Let's see. Next one. What is your least favorite type of music?
Least favorite type of music. I like pop music.
You like pop music. Okay. So would you say your least favorite music would be something like heavy metal or rock?
Huh? What do you mean?
Okay. With music, you get different genres. So now, when you speak about music called like heavy
Okay,
metal or
I answered the I understand the question now. The least that I don't like the type of music. I don't like that music.
the screaming music.
The rats. Yes.
Okay. We're going to play another game. This one is a little bit more fun because we got like 4 minutes left of the lesson. Okay, so this game is called Would You Rather.
Okay.
So this game makes you choose between two things. So let's see what they give us. Okay. Would you rather be poor and happy or be miserable and rich?
Be poor and happy.
Okay. But why? I need you to explain why.
Because if you reach some people that they want to earn money to make their life happier than before, but if you reach but you don't have the happy things, that is the money is just unavailable. And if you're poor and happy, you maybe don't have the enough food for eat in the day, but you still happy. You still happy with your life. You you still happy that you don't feel like horrible in yourself. It's just okay than be rich.
Good. I like your answer. Okay. Would you rather be a deep sea diver or an astronaut?
Huh? I don't know.
Do you know
I
what the
don't know.
words mean?
I know the word means, but
So,
I
would
don't
you
know how.
rather explore the bottom of the ocean or would you rather explore space?
I don't know that.
You don't know. Okay.
They both dangerous and have many dangerous things around. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Would you rather share your room with your sibling or move to the attic? Do you know what an attic is?
No.
Okay. I didn't think so. I had to explain this to a few other people. Do you watch American movies?
Not really.
Okay, not really. Okay. So attics are mainly in American houses. So what happens is you have your house and then you've got your roof, obviously, and in your roof is like a bunch of empty nothing. And in
Okay.
American houses, they actually put like a floor down and they make that an attic, which is like an extra room, but most people just store stuff in the attic. They don't actually live in the attic because most times it doesn't even have a window.
I know it. I know it. My family has many of empty boxes, and they're on there.
Yeah. So, would you rather share a room with your sibling or would you rather move into the attic if you had an attic?
I think share my room with a sibling because I have a extra bed that is just the flat on, like the curtain that you put on the bed.
Yes.
Yes, I have one of those, and if there is someone else, we can sleep on there or let them sleep on there. It's easier to move on the attic. It's very small and creepy.
It is small, creepy, and dark. Okay. Would you rather be able to teleport anywhere or read minds? Do you know
What
what
is teleport?
I was just gonna ask you? Okay. So teleport means you'll be standing here and you can say, I want to go to the kitchen. And then instead of walking to the kitchen, you kind of just go poof and you end up in the kitchen.
Ah,
Yes. So like you can stand in your house and say, I want to go to school, and then poof, you're at school. So it cuts out walking, it cuts out time. It's like 2 seconds and you wherever you want to go. You just appear out of thin air.
uh, teleport or read minds. I often late for school, so maybe I prefer to teleport because I don't really need read minds because I usually know what my friends and my family wants.
Okay, good. You did very well today. Did you have fun?
Yeah.
The games work a little bit better than what your actual workbook does because you know your work. So the games make you think they give you a couple more words that you don't know. And then at the same time, I get you to talk about it. So you're still talking and you're still learning.
Okay.
Okay, bye-bye. I will see you on Sunday.
Okay, I remember. Sunday. Okay.
Okay, and just do your homework for me, okay?
Okay.
Okay, bye.
Bye.